Hi there. Today we're going to talk about preparation before applying hard wax oil. It's very important to make sure the surface is free of any previous finish, unless of course it's already got hard wax oil. And then you're talking about a maintenance coat. First of all, we want to sand the substrate, starting it with a 60 or 80 grit sandpaper and working your way up into somewhere around 120 to 180, depending on the surface, type of timber, and what the project is. The next thing we want to do is make sure we have the right application tools. So what do we need? We need a tray. If it's a small project, just a mini one like this will be fine. Here's the tip. Use a tray liner, saves in cleanup. We need a roller cage, depending on the size, either a large one or a small mini one for this project. And of course, we need our short nap microfiber rollers, 4mm in this case. If you're applying it to a larger area and you're using a bigger roller, still make sure you're using a 4mm or 5mm nap microfiber roller. Alternatively, depending on the project, you can also use a good quality brush. These are also obviously handy for cutting in, or you could also use the painter's pad if you're on a floor surface and you're wanting to cut into corners. Now, we also need a tin opener and a stirrer. Okay, so very important part of any hard wax oil project is stirring the contents first. Now, this is not paint, so we can't just shake the tin. That's not going to suffice here. We need to use a stirring stick or a drill bit mixer. It's really important to make sure you get all of the contents from the bottom, which is generally the matting agent, which just falls to the bottom. So it's very normal to have a thicker part on the bottom, so don't be concerned about that. Just keep mixing until it's all thoroughly mixed through. Okay, so now we're moving on to application. Now, if we're applying to a floor, we generally recommend going a few boards across at a time, cutting in using a painter's pad or a brush, and then using your short nap microfiber roller to, where possible, always go the length of the room or the length of the hallway. Now, it's not that particular because obviously you can go across parquetry and things like that, which is not going in the direction of the grain, but where possible, we always recommend to do that. On smaller projects, you've got the same concept. You're trying to go across in full lengths and doing a full section at a time. And what I mean by that is if we were doing a table, we wouldn't do this square here and then this square here. We would go the full length of the table and keep moving on that way. Now, of course, we've mentioned this before in other videos. It's very important to apply hard wax oil as thinly as possible. You're looking at a coverage rate of around 25 square meters per litre. If you start seeing roller marks or brush marks as you're applying it, this means you're putting it on too thick. Now, another tip is don't press down really firmly on the roller. You want to simply glide across the surface, and this is going to help you to apply it nice and thin. Now, once it's dry, which is generally 4 to 6 hours, although a lot of people tend to just leave it overnight, then we need to do what we refer to as denibbing. If you were using a professional buffing machine, you would use a maroon pad, which is like this, or you could use a Scotch-Brite pad, or just a fine sandpaper. As I said, we're just trying to denib, not trying to really powder it up and cut it right back. Although, however, if you do think you've put it on too thick, and when it's dried you can see some roller marks and brush marks, then yes, go a bit heavier to take a bit of that excess on and help to eliminate those marks. Okay, so once we've finished that, we need to vacuum the floor or wipe away the dust on the small project and get ready for the second coat. Now, second coat application method is the same as the first. So once our second coat is dry, once again, that's like 4 to 6 hours. As I said, most people will probably leave it overnight. Then we're able to use the item or walk on the floor. Now, keep in mind, it will be fully cured in 7 days. So if we are referring to a floor, we generally recommend you wear socks or soft shoes for those first few days, and it will get harder and harder every day. Also a tip, during that 7 days while it's curing, please don't use any cleaning products or get the area wet or anything like that. We just want to treat it gently for that first week. And of course, clean up for all of your items, your brushes and rollers, is Turks or white spirits. Okay, now we're on to aftercare and maintenance. It's important with hard wax oil surfaces that we don't use a bleach or a chemical cleaner. Something pH neutral, bleach and ammonia free, that's also free of any citrus or eucalyptus. The reason is because Chemical cleaners can break down the surface of hard wax oil and therefore making it susceptible to staining and losing its durability and wear resistance. We have a few products in our range that can assist you with your aftercare. We have our wood floor cleaner, which is a 1 litre concentrated formulation. We have our wood surface spray, which is a pre-diluted spray cleaner. We have our Reviver kit. This contains a Reviver fluid, which can assist in eliminating fine scratches, and also contains a bottle of our one litre bottle of our floor cleaner. And we have our spray mop cleaning kit. Now in here, we have a microfiber spray mop and a 1 litre bottle of our concentrated formula. Now I often get asked, how frequently do you have to recoat hard wax oil surfaces? Well, it's a tricky question to answer. Generally, we say anywhere between 4 to 10 years, depending on how you've cared for the surface. Okay, I'll give you a few examples. A TV unit where you've used a wood surface spray or even just a damp cloth to clean may never ever need to be recoated. Then you've got a floor with a big, large family, multiple dogs, live on a dirt road. Well, their high traffic areas of hallways, kitchen, etc. might need to be recoated in 4 years. Then you've got another extreme of, say, a couple that live in an apartment, travel a lot, keep their floors really clean. They might be recoating in 10 years. So it's really just depending on the circumstances. Great thing about hard wax oil surfaces though is because they're replenishable, you should never have to sand that substrate ever again. Imagine how much time and effort and money that's going to save you in the long run. Also, another key benefit of hard wax oil surfaces is that they're spot repairable. So if, for example, you've dragged some furniture across the room and it's left a scratch, you can section off that area and you can recoat just that area and it will blend in beautifully. Now, we do have a video on that on our YouTube channel, so check it out. Now, while we're talking about moving furniture, it is very important to make sure you use floor protection on any furniture in your home that can be moved. There's a lot of them on the market. However, on the Fiddes Australia website, we do sell a range there that are ideal for movable furniture. So please feel free to check them out. Okay, so hopefully these videos have given you more confidence before you start your hard wax oil project. Don't forget, it's really easy. You can't mess it up. Lots of people do it all the time. If you've got any other questions, drop a comment below or visit our website and fill in the contact us inquiry form and we'll come back to you. You can also give us a call as well. Please don't forget to tag us on social media. We love seeing your projects and we also love sharing them as well. Now, best of luck and most of all, go and have fun and enjoy it.